I was introduced to Stephanie through a family member who had gone through a very tragic loss, and friends of hers uh, got together and bought her a session with Stephanie. And my sister-in-law had transcribed the entire session and came to me and wanted me to look it over. She was so like overwhelmed by it, and I literally remember her coming to me in a really like emotional way, asking my opinion as if I was some sort of expert on this. And I was so myself, I was overwhelmed by what I was seeing and what I was reading. And it just came to me that I needed to meet this Stephanie. And I had been going through some personal things and kind of reconciling some childhood issues that I needed answers and resolution. And that was the very first of what became many over the course of over 2 years now, a relationship that has been life changing. I actually picked up even more things by doing that. And I was in therapy at the time about a lot of those things. And this was like, it was like therapy on steroids. And little did my therapist know, she's like, wow, man, you're making a lot of progress with this right now. It was very funny, actually, because it was so clear to me what everything I was carrying was just really just wasteful. The coaching process that I've had with Stephanie started, as I said, with very kind of personal, family-rooted issues that I was dealing with. And then it morphed into really where my life purpose was. And at the time, I was grappling with the notion of leaving a 30-year career after dealing with some pretty heavy situations in my personal life. Brother-in-law, my daughter was in a horrible accident. And, my sessions with Stephanie really enabled me to look far beyond what I could have ever done on my own, and made clear not just the decisions that I ultimately needed to make in the process that I needed to make them, but was giving me great insight into just my who I was as a person, how I looked at life, how I treated people, how I viewed myself. And it is something that is unfolding until this day. And I'm going back over a year and a half now when this process started, and it's become a part of my daily life. I mean, there are recommendations for books and websites and authors and TED Talks that I've all got from working with Stephanie that have really become a part of my everyday life and how I go about dealing with any decision that I'm going to make. But leaving my job was by far the biggest and turned out to be the most transformative decision that I ever made for the positive. It is without question the absolute best decision. And Stephanie guided me through every single step of the way, literally up until the night before, talking to her. And I just can't imagine having gone through that without Stephanie and the work we did together. I just can't even imagine it. I'm not even sure it even would have happened. It was from the very end of April of 2019 to July 10th, 2019. And I have every session laid out that we had. And I still go over it because I look back about how I was told things would unfold later, which is now. And it's all come together. It's all fit like this amazing puzzle that is so clear to me now that was not then. But it's even more, even my views from a spiritual and a religious standpoint, and has expanded my views tenfold, 20-fold. It's just, I can't even put it into words. Um, I just feel way more open-minded and less judgmental towards anything, whether I agree with it or not. I'm just so more willing to just listen and understand and be a lot more compassionate with others and myself. It's really remarkable. Inner reflection and outward kindness and compassion and service to others has been really just a manifestation of the work. That's really what it is. Um, and that's how I would look at it, because it wasn't one-off sessions. They were all connected. They still are. I mean, they're all connected. They're all kind of building off one another. As I said, I came to Stephanie through a recommendation, and I have since recommended, I would say it has to be close to 10 personal friends. And it seems as though there is some sort of mental, subconscious vetting that I go through as I'm listening to someone, that they're going through something personal, they're going through a decision. And it just comes to me that this person should speak to Stephanie or not. There's been people who I feel like maybe they're just not ready, but those who have, it has transformed their lives and and Stephanie now has a relationship with these folks that is very, very close. And even through my own family, through my wife, through my kids, through my mom. I'm going through the list, and it's all the people that I love, because the trust that I have with Stephanie and the bond that we have and the connection. For me, it's all about connection and the people that I'm connecting with, and to a point where there are things that I certainly can't help them with, but I know who can help them, and it's Stephanie. And I have gifted as a personal gesture of giving to so many people, because it just means so much to me for someone to experience what I've experienced, and hopefully at least have some semblance of transformation like I've had.